Welcome to a Business Minute with Lily Lopez, presented by the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Today, we have the honor of having Carlos Martinez, who's the president and CEO of United Home Care, which is a 501c3 nonprofit health and community care organization based in Miami, Florida. United Healthcare is dedicated to the promotion of independence and wellness for older adults through proven quality of life solutions delivered primarily in the comfort of a home setting. In his leadership role, Carlos sets the priorities and provides strategic guidance for all of the organization's business and operating units and oversees the management of over 850, 900 employees, consisting of home health aides, case managers, licensed clinical social workers, nutritionists, nurses, and clinicians. Carlos is a graduate of Harvard Business School Leadership and Nonprofit Management Program and Cornell University Executive Healthcare Leadership Program. He's a distinguished alum, Miami-Dade College, and featured in IMMDC, the campaign. He's an alum of St. Thomas, which I did not know, me too. So we have that. We're both St. Thomas grads. And just to give a little info on United Home Care, we already said it's a 501c3, and they have nearly half a century of helping families care for their aging relatives and transforming the landscape of home and community service by providing independent and quality life for adults and seniors. And I was reading here, but I don't want to read anymore because I want to talk, about my experience with United Home Care, that they took care of my dad for like 5 years. And gosh, you were there. I mean, everybody that worked there, I would call them and they would immediately even gave me their cell phone numbers. And we were in constant contact with you for the care of my father. And I'll never forget that. I'm very appreciative. So I'm one of the number one fans of United Home Care because of that, because I know personally the care that he received and it was so wonderful. So for that, I thank you, Carlos, for your leadership. And I thank all of the wonderful staff that you have. So Carlos,
Thank
welcome
you.
to this minute.
And by the way, it's our moral duty to provide that best in class care that you described for your dad, and we thrive to do that for everyone in our community, and we're blessed to have been doing so for the last 50 years. So to put it in perspective, because a lot of people don't know how United Home Care got started, we were actually a department of the United Way of Miami. Then it was spinned off as an independent, not-for-profit organization, and it has been independent ever since. But we continue to be an impact partner of the United Way. We're one of the agencies that receives one of the highest amount of funding from the United Way, and what we do with that funding that we get from the United Way is that we leverage it. So I call that leverage philanthropy, because we're able to draw down to our community $10 for every dollar that we get from the United Way in federal and state funding.
Mhm.
So the United Way is a catalyst for our community, for us to draw down dollars to be able to provide services to people that are, frail older adults, disabled adults. Some live by themselves, others live with their family. Irrespective of where they live, we promote wellness and independence. We want people to live in the
Mhm.
comfort of their home, right? And I try to avoid having to go to an institution, a nursing home or a rehab
Of course,
hospital.
right?
Now, don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
Nursing homes have a place in our society
Of
and in
course.
our community,
I'm
right? Because when you become so frail that it's unsafe to stay at home, you have to go to a nursing home or to a hospital. But we try to delay that as much as possible
Of course.
with giving comprehensive care that includes meals, includes care, home care, nursing, physical therapy, behavioral health, so on and so forth. So we've been very effective in maintaining quality of life, and that's the most important thing. It's
And you
not.
know something, Carlos, that I do need to say, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, that you, you you become family. And I remember the lady that came to provide care for my father. I mean, she became family. To this point, my father passed away 4 years ago. We communicate, we see each other. So she's like family. I mean, she cried when my father passed away. There's a bond. And you know what? When you have a bond, you will always continue to look after United Home Care. I will always be an advocate for United Home Care because I experienced that care. that quality of care that became family to me. So it's in my heart. So absolutely. I mean, for
No,
me,
that's what it's all about.
that's what it's all
It's
about. Exactly.
community coming together to take
Exactly.
care of our own, you
So,
know.
Carlos, tell me, when the pandemic hit in March, what were the first steps that you, as a leader of United Home Care, took to make sure that the patients continued receiving excellent care, and at the same time juggling with the employees being scared about visiting patients and COVID? So this is like something big that came about, and so you, as a leader, how were you able in those months in like March and April that were so difficult? How were you able to juggle all of that and make it work?
You know, it's been it's been quite a
Right.
challenge to say the least. Uh, I have to honestly say, very scary at first. You know, any business leader, any CEO of an organization, big or small, recognizes that when you do an abrupt stop, because we had to close our community down
Hmm.
completely from one day to the other, and any business that you have to abruptly stop,
Of course.
it is very difficult to get it started again.
It is, of course.
Um,
Come from
and
the freeze.
yeah,
It's a natural instinct.
right. So now we're not a manufacturing plant.
Hmm.
We're not a restaurant. We are a healthcare organization. People's needs do not stop from one day to the next. So we couldn't abandon our older adults because the community was closed.
Hmm.
We had to somehow find a way to continue to provide services to older adults. So thank God the governor and the federal government had the foresight to include home health and organizations like us as essential employers. Okay, because we are a large employer, we have more than 500 employees. We were exempted from some regulatory requirements, but that did not address the issue of workers being scared to go to work, right?
Of course.
So the first thing that we had to do was to make sure that they had the supplies that they needed
To protect themselves.
to provide security for them and for the clients that they were going out to provide services to. So that task alone required for our management team to bring masks from China. The first batch of 50,000 masks that we brought in from China was confiscated at the airport. Confiscated in the sense that it was diverted by the state to other. I mean, remember at the beginning, hospitals were competing against each other to get PPE.
Right. Exactly. I
It
remember.
was, it was madness. It was crazy.
It's crazy.
But we were able to navigate through that. We now have learned that we keep a 6 month supply of gloves, masks, and shields. So not only for COVID-19, but in the event that there's any future pandemic, we have to learn learn our lessons.
Yeah. Exactly.
I still have boxes of masks in my office, um, and that's as a reminder to me that it is our job and role
I have boxes too. We
to.
have boxes that were donated to us, and then we gave to a lady that worked in the county that was going to distribute it in the for the senior citizens. We got a box.
Right,
Someone sent to us, and they were the good ones. So we have them here also. We give them out at the events because we have to do that to protect
right.
ourselves.
The other challenge that we have 850 employees.
It's a lot.
Well, we have 900 employees total, but a little bit over 800 are in the field, and less than 80 are here at the main office. So what we did is, our executive management team, including myself, we had to show leadership by example by coming to work. Believe me, I got a lot of flack from my wife.
I know. I covered you
It's
this
like,
later.
why are you going to the office and exposing yourself? And I would tell my family, listen, I'm the CEO. I cannot lead through Zoom. I
No.
cannot be in my house, in the comfort of my house, talking to my employees through Zoom and expect them to be in the middle of the
Absolutely.
storm.
You're
You
truly.
know,
That's what you had to do. You did the right thing.
So leaders have to lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, taking all the precautions
Sure.
available.
Mm-hmm.
But we have been here from day one. I was out because of COVID. I was 9 months protected, and it just took one incident
When is it?
where I did not wear my mask, and
And
that's
that's
where I caught it. So I have to emphasize
the
to my
important.
colleagues in the business world: wear your mask, even when you don't. I have mine. I have mine. I
I
have
have
mine right here.
plenty of
Uh,
those. Yes.
but wear your mask, even if you get the vaccine, even if you have had COVID. Wear your mask. This is going to be around for at least another year or so.
And,
Hopefully not, but we have to be realistic,
and have
and
you?
we have to protect
What
ourselves.
have you seen among the seniors? Have you seen a significant number of seniors having to be hospitalized? Any casualty? Any deaths? People that died because
Luckily for us, we haven't had any casualties. We did have an employee that passed away a few weeks ago, but it was because of a massive heart attack,
okay,
not COVID
not
related.
related. You haven't seen
Um,
anything.
yeah, but listen, the older adult community nationwide, worldwide, statistically has the highest
Right.
mortality rate. So when you hear the 400,000
Mhm.
people that have died in the United States,
Yes.
um, over 80% have been older adults. Okay, so
Exactly.
the older adult community has been
Has a higher risk.
significantly impacted. Now,
But
what does that mean?
you work with the seniors, so but you have so
So what does that mean?
what does
What
that
that
mean?
means is that primarily the households, okay, where those seniors live, or the families when they go visit the seniors, okay, and many have been isolated for 9 months,
Oh yes, it's
which
horrible.
is horrible
Horrible,
for
horrible.
old anybody.
I haven't been able to
Um,
see my aunt. She's like 86. I haven't been able to see her. Yeah,
right. So
it's bad.
it's
Very bad.
important that
That
um,
creates depression.
absolutely, and it's one of the initiatives that we will talk about in a little while. But yeah, although isolation is detrimental for older adults,
It is.
uh, if you go visit your grandfather or aunt or whatever, someone who's up there in age, you have to make it a point that even the kids have to wear masks. We have to protect our seniors because they've really been impacted by this. So I was glad to see that when the vaccine came out, many governors placed the seniors
Right.
first
Right. Of
in
course,
line.
it had to be.
And a lot of people have criticized that, but I believe that it's not only fair, it's morally correct
It is absolutely. They
if
are
they're the
the
ones that have the highest mortality rate, you know.
absolutely
Um, so yeah, we do see spikes, and the spikes occur, Lily, during the holidays,
right.
July the 4th,
Yes. Labor Day.
Labor Day,
Say
Thanksgiving. That's
Thanksgiving.
when I got it. Christmas, New Year's.
Yes.
We have to be extremely vigilant when those holidays come about
Right.
because is when we tend to lower our guard down. People say, "Hey, I've been cooked up in my house for
Yeah.
9 months.
They just removed the
Uh,
mask. And that's
I'm
it.
gonna go out."
Hmm.
And lo and behold,
That's
that's
when
when
it
you
happened.
get it.
That's when it
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
And Carlos, tell me a little bit about the clot pepper. I know this year we weren't able to do the clot pepper, which is a signature event of United Home Care, but we're praying that this year in May we'll be able to do the clot peppers. Tell me a little bit about the history of the clot pepper award.
Sure. So the Cloud Pepper Award is our annual fundraising dinner, and we recognize community leaders and individuals that have made an impact in our community, not only in with older adults, but in the community at large. We do, place special emphasis on people who have impacted older adults.
Mhm.
Uh, the award is named after Claude Pepper, who was a champion for older adults,
Mhm.
and and Claude Pepper was a Floridian, but was focused worldwide. Claude Pepper was a true leader
He was.
uh, um,
Yes, he
in our
was.
nation and in our community.
Mhm.
So we named the award after him. Um, and unfortunately, we had to first we tried to postpone it,
Mhm.
but we ultimately had to cancel it in 2020.
Mhm.
And we're winners, of which you're one of them.
Yes.
Uh,
So
and
honored.
and we recognize you,
Very
Lily,
much. I'm very, very.
for the Hispanic Leadership Award because listen, and I'm not brown nosing you or the Hispanic chamber, but it gives me great sense of pride of what you personally and what the Hispanic chamber is doing for our business community. And
Thank
we are very, very proud members of the Hispanic chamber. You
you.
have not stopped.
You.
You have continued to advocate for businesses. You have continued in a safe way that
Mhm.
we hope to learn from you
Mhm.
to conduct,
Events. We've done live
events.
events. Say very safe.
Okay, so be prepared because my staff is going to be picking your brain as to how to do that effectively. Um, we hope to have the Cloud Pepper event on May 20th,
Oh, that's a nice day.
2021. May 20th is an important day for Cubans.
America's the other.
Uh, and like I said, you are among some of the community leaders that are being recognized. There's others. I will be remiss if I say, but we have people like Remedio Diaz Oliver, like Irina Villarino,
Oh, yes.
like Pascal Goldschmidt, and others. But we really look forward to the event this
That
year.
event, absolutely. Me too. And I thank you again. And I'm very, very, very honored to have been selected.
And again, I cannot continue. I cannot stop thanking you for all you're doing for the Hispanic businesses in our community.
Oh, thank you, Carlos. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anything else that we left out? Because this is supposed to be like a short.
Yes.
Oh,
So we have two major initiatives
yes.
that I want to
Talk about.
talk to you about. One initiative is the United Learn and Work program. What we're doing, Lily, is a lot of people were let go, furloughed
Oh, yes.
when restaurants and hotels closed down. And what we're doing is that we are telling those people that were laid off or whatever, hey, we will train you
Right. And you have to.
and go to work with us. We will hire you. There's plenty of need in this community, and there's plenty of slots for employees. So we will train you. We have a curriculum because we are a teaching agency. In a week, we will provide you with the skill sets that you need,
Mm-hmm.
and we will employ you and provide you with livable wage, with affordable health insurance, and put you back to work. If at a later date you want to return to the hotel or the restaurant where you used to work at, we have no qualms with that. But obviously, we would prefer that you stay with us. But we need to get our people employed. We need to get people working and making money and not having to depend on government subsidies because we've seen how these subsidies have been held up because of politics, and people don't have the patience or the time to wait for those stimulus checks to come in. The other initiative that we have involved, it's a beautiful initiative because it's an intergenerational program. Like we said before, seniors are highly impacted because of isolation. So what we're doing, and I'm glad to have uh, uh, you know young adults, young kids, teenagers from Belen Jesuit and from Miami-Dade colleges and other colleges involved in telephone reassurance. So what they're doing is they're calling our clients our elderly clients with a focus on the ones that live by themselves, that don't have a family member living with them, and they just have a chat. They just have a telephone conversation. The kid usually asks them, "Where are you from? Can you talk to me a little bit about the country where you came from, or your experiences when you were my age," meaning when they were kids or high school. And that develops, but it gives the older adult the opportunity to speak to a human being, uh, and that is much needed. So those two initiatives, putting people back to work, and the other initiative, getting young teenagers involved with older adults, especially during COVID-19, are key initiatives that we see are getting a very high return on our investment.
That's wonderful. So, Carlos, it's been a pleasure having you today on the show, and wow, it's been amazing everything that you've said and what you're doing. And I thank you for your leadership, for your contributions to our community, and for everything that you do. And send my best wishes to all of your wonderful staff. And so, thank you so much for being in a business meeting with Lily Lopez. And I'll turn it over to Yandy Alvarez for 90 seconds of tech.
This is Yendi for 90 Seconds of Tech, and today I'm covering an app that may prove beneficial to you or your loved ones suffering from chronic pain. It's called the Pain Scale app, and it's a great way to keep track of your pain and learn ways to manage it. Pain Scale allows you to keep track of your pain by recording its location, intensity, description, triggers, duration, effect, and treatment. Once you have logged in enough entries, the Insights feature allows you to view trends like your pain over time, treatments that helped your pain the most, your most used treatments, and how pain affects your activities and sleep. The app has a variety of educational and informative resources for numerous pain conditions such as chronic pain, neck pain, lower back pain, fibromyalgia, migraines, arthritis, and so much more. Examples of resources include exercise videos, pain management tips, and infographics. You can download the Pain Scale app in the Google Play Store or in the iTunes App Store. So if you, your parents, or your abuelitos suffer from pain, give Pain Scale app a try. It may make them feel better. For 90 Seconds of Tech, this is Yendi, reminding you that technology provides us tools and resources, but it's our own desire to heal that'll get us there.